who's in here? Hello. Look, we got a new pad. It took me a little while because I had to change my pad. Tis. But the thing that I forgot to grab was a friggin' tarot deck. So, um, I almost didn't do this live, but then I was like, I have the time, so I should do it, right? And I forgot to kind of set up. Hi, Chad. Hi, Lisa. Hey, everybody. Okay, so the beginning of my streams is always the same. It's me like getting my shit together. So this is just nothing out of the normal. So let me grab a tarot deck because that's how prepared I always tend to be. We'll make it Fluff's choice. Just go pick one, babe. I mean, I have one here, but I used it last week, so let's see what Fluff picks for this evening. You don't pick something that that I'm like, oh, that one. Hang on, let me pull up. Let me pull up some stuff. Let me see who's in my chat.
I don't know why, but I think this one should be a good one
For November, the Law of Attraction Tarot. All right, I'm down for some LOA Tarot. There's Chad and Dustin and Lisa, and they're both here. Hold on, we gotta wait a minute. No, I don't want to put nobody. No, we're not. Stop it. I don't know what I'm ever freaking doing on here. I swear. Babe, how do I fix this?
I'll go do
It makes, I don't know who it wants me to report. Did y'all get a glimpse of the t-shirt? I'm wearing my own shirt. I just was trying to go make people some mods, and I don't know what I'm doing. It's like, no, up here it's still like on this one. That's what I was talking about. I don't think it affects it, but I can't get it to go away. It won't let me?
Yeah, I got it.
You got it? Oh, okay. Are you logged in as me?
Mm-hmm.
Can you make two people? Can you mod up some people for me?
I already did.
Thank you. All right. Fluff's choice. The Law of Attraction Tarot. You all down for some manifesting? I think I had one of these that was open, but that's okay. I clearly bought another one because I think I'm missing a card out of the other deck. I think it fell. Yeah, this is we're testing out the new printer that we got, and like we keep trying to find a good company to do these shirts, and as you can see, it's got a little bit of cracking. So thought we found one, maybe not. Maybe not. Oh, I'm just a hot mess express when I start a live stream, so we take it as it comes over here. Some days it goes off smooth and some days it don't. I try not to take myself too dang serious because why the heck would I want to do something like that? What we got here? Ooh, look at that. Some people making out on the tarot deck. All right. Put that to the side as well. So, Shire Ghost, how you doing? Fluff. Fluff's always here though. So, how is everybody doing today? So, tea for the week. What's like as in the week WEEK, not the other week as in like WEAK. But hey, you can take it as it comes, right? So, what's the tea for this week? The tea for this week is I'm going to tell you there's two different teas that I'm going to go with, and they're going to be relatively short. One of them is second guessing yourself. unfortunately, this week I had to come to a plexus where I second guessed a decision I made. And, well, it was thrown in my face to second guess it. And sometimes we want to get really caught up in the idea that we've made a mistake. And for me, this one was a very detrimental, dare I say, mistake. And I'm very much a person that believes in everything happens, for you, not to you. So I had to sit back, and I always tell me, take a day to just let whatever feelings are going to happen, whether they're being pissed off, whether they're, crying, whatever it is, just let those ones go. Don't try to like have the stiff upper lip for the first 24 hours necessarily, but don't be over verbose about it. Really like internalize it. If you need to lock yourself away and cry, go do that. You need to have a beer and just sit with yourself, go do that. But don't like explode outward onto anybody. And if you're a content creator, stay the heck off your damn platform. So I do that for the first 24 hours. And then the second day is time to get myself back into the groove, figure out how the heck I'm going to move past whatever obstacle has presented itself to me. So that's kind of what I did. And I had to sit back and remember that, we can't sit there and dwell on mistakes. We have to figure out what they were, why they happened, and endure the lesson and promote the lesson of it more than just promoting the, incident or whatever occurred. So that's what I had been doing. And I won't get into too much detail of my own personal shit because nobody cares, right? It's a very personal thing, and it really doesn't affect anybody but me. So that's what I've had to do, and so I figured, hey, you know what? I might as well bring that forward in case somebody else is coming up on a decision or something happened in their life that they're like, oh dang, I shouldn't have done that. I should have done this. I jumped the gun. I blah 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 blah. All right, it be that as it may, come what may, those things happened. You overreacted, you over promoted, put all your eggs in one basket, you assumed something, you did, you know what I mean? Okay, that happened. Now what? Okay, because what you do going forward from that is what determines you as a person, not so much the situation that happened. The situation, when it happens, it can almost be embarrassing to have to deal with it. What are people going to think? Blah blah blah. People are going to talk shit, yada yada. Who the frick cares? People talk shit no matter if you're doing great or if you're doing horrible. That's just how they are. Stop worrying about they, all right? So the next thing is, how are you going to deal with it? Because you is the most important thing. So that's how I kind of promote lessons that I've learned is, let me make the stupid damn mistake and I'll tell you what I did so you don't do it. And in this case, I'm kind of promoting the idea of, moving forward and how we can move forward in a more positive and strong way. And that's kind of the vibe that I'm flowing with right now. And so how we move forward and continue lessons is, we first off stop blaming ourselves for everything that happened. Even if it was 100% your fault, you're a human being. You're a person wearing a skin suit walking around on a flying rock through outer space. Don't take yourself so damn serious. So in that regard, you're going to make mistakes. We all do. And so now what? So do you want to keep making the mistakes? What have you learned? What are you going to take away from this? What are you going to not take away from this? Are you ready to continue making the same mistake, or are you ready to move on from it and apply it towards your future? Those are the types of things that you want to consider when something bad happens, because we can take it as a knife to the, the heart and let it end us, or we can, just take the defense wound, block the knife hit, and carry onward and say, you can't beat me. Because truth be told, things only beat you if you allow it to, because you're the one that says if something beats you or not. So consider that. Next T, the drama. The drama, the drama. How YouTube loves the mother-loving drama. You can enjoy the drama. You can watch the drama. You can even get involved in the drama. Don't bring it here, all right? Because I don't want it. I don't give a shit who you're mad at. Don't bring it here. I don't care. Sticks and stones may break my bones, right? Just people can talk all the crap they want. I don't give a shit. Let them talk. They got haters need a job too, so let them hate. It's the only thing they're good at. So if I have some amazing subscribers and people that come to my channel, and I enjoy every single one of you. You know, God willing, we are, you know, just the most imperfectly perfect people on this planet, and we will continue being so. The only thing I say is don't try to get me involved in anything. I don't want any part of it, because you know what, life's not that complicated. You don't like somebody, move the hell onward. I don't need to be informed. Trust me, I can figure it out on my own. There's people that are involved in the current drama that I've never liked, so I don't care. I saw through them a long time ago, and now some other people are seeing through it, and it's like, all right, cool. You woke up. Good for you. But other than that, I don't care. If you want to hang around with shit, you're gonna smell like shit too. And if you don't want to smell like shit, stop hanging out with shit. All right? It's that simple. But the problem is, and like I said last week, if you sit around shit long enough, it stops stinking. And you forget that you're hanging around shit, or you never realized you were, because you got used to it. It's like a frog that gets in the boiling pot and doesn't realize it's about to die, right? Because it just sits there and progressively lets itself boil to death because it's used to the acclimation of the water. So it's kind of unfortunate that some people don't really like look outside of the scope of things enough to kind of see where they're at overall. But adulting ain't for everybody. So that's the tea that I've got for y'all this week. Moving right the hell along. So we always start with the 12 signs of the zodiac in the order of Aries through Pisces. And we're going to go ahead and crack this deck, which was rather loud crack. Was a big crack. Anybody else got a big crack? I got a big old crack. Hey, Jan. Hey. So, yep, I always start off stuff with tea. Take it as it is. I say what I believe in, not necessarily what I'm going through. So don't assume that I'm going through some shit. Some people do that at the beginning of the streams. John must be going through something. Unless I say I'm going through it, I might just agree with something. Doesn't necessarily mean that that's what path I'm on. All right? So, if something radiates, something makes sense to you, cool. Take what you need, leave the rest. But if it don't radiate, don't worry about it. It ain't your thing. Same thing with the readings. These readings are general, and I do them for the public. Therefore, they may not radiate with everybody. And if they resonate, not radiate. And if they don't, that's okay. Check your moon and rising sign, because you might miss something that's caught up in one of those signs for you. You can also check your Venus sign if you're looking for something involved in more of your love readings, relationship things like that. Also, if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, the details for that are always in the description box below. Don't reach out to me on social media because there are way too many scammers, so I avoid that by giving you guys an email address to contact me at in the description box. All right. So, yes, I shuffle like a poker dealer, and that's just who I am. Somebody obviously needed a little resignation right there with that card, but we'll move right along. So, Aries, how we're gonna do this is I'm gonna just pull some cards to see what information you need to guide you through the rest of this darn week. All right, and I have the Six of Coins. So with the Six of Coins right here, this is somebody that's obviously manifesting themselves past something that is involving an addiction, a ride through something, something that is a constant in their world that controls, and feeling like you may have had zero options to overcome this situation. This is very derived towards, you know, addictive qualities, things that you feel like you're trying to pull yourself from, and yet it still has a hold. You still have a hold on, or it still has a hold on to you. Maybe you're not really ready to give it up. Now, the Law of Attraction tarot deck is a lot different from the standard Rider-Waite. So this one is going to have different symbolisms, things like that, that will definitely get in touch with things that you're either manifesting, or that things that may have a control over what you're trying to manifest. A very useful deck if you ever want to pick it I like to keep the card drawings with these very minimal because the messages are very definitive and concrete usually, or they're very abrupt. So pulling too many cards spreads the energy a little too far and can be a little too confusing, especially for a general reading. Back to Aries. So with the Ace of Wands, so the One of Wands right here in the reverse, this is making you feel like you don't have opportunities, that you don't have the drive to go forward to maneuver out of this. So to which I say, Aries, if there is something that is controlling you, this could be literally a physical thing that's controlling you, like substance abuses or anything like that. It can also be mental control as well. But this is a lot more tangible with the pentacles, so it might be something to do with money. You can also have sex addictions. You can have food addictions. You can have, obviously cigarettes, your vaping, all of those. If you have an addiction of some sort, it could be online shopping, it could be too much time on the internet, something that is more tangible. That is controlling of you, and you are feeling like it is taking away from you in the physical realm, like you are not as present as you should be because this is a controlling of you. This might be a very clear message for you. So we're going to take it off the top right there with the Eight of Cups in the reverse. So you know what, right now is a time for probably you to really regather yourself or rejoin yourself with family and loved ones, is what I'm kind of getting from this. In order to give up something, you need to replenish yourself. So most of the time when we're addicted to something, it is something that is kind of, we're giving ourselves severance to from the real world through that. All right. So if we have like shopping addictions, smoking addictions, things like that, it is a scapegoat, is it not? It is so we don't have to deal with something that is manifesting literally inside of us. So if that is the case, you are going to need to lean on something else. You're going to have to find a new crutch. It sucks that we're still leaning on crutches, but to get out of one hole, you are going to need a hand to pull you out of it sometimes. That's kind of where we're going with this. So at this time, if you're feeling these sensations and this is radiating with you, resonating with you, this is a good time for you to reach out to someone. It could be a professional therapist, which I do suggest, counselor of some sort, but it could be as simple as a family member. It can also be as simple as the text message hotline. There are plenty of them, and they can get you in touch with people that can help you through, but you have to be open to it. So keep that in mind. You cannot refill your vessel if you're not willing to accept something to come back into it. So if you're going to sit there and say, I really want help, and I'll give the example of the late Aaron Carter. He knew he needed help. He just had a really hard time with accepting it because in his mind, he had the void, he recognized the void, but he wasn't recognizing the help as useful. Okay, so we got to be healthy with our decisions. We have to be open, and sometimes because we can become jaded because we've accepted help in the past and it did not work. So our ego comes into play, and in things like law of attraction and manifestation, just in general in our real world, if we let our ego come into play too much, nothing but bad manifestations will happen. Negative manifestations will happen because our ego lives in the past. It does not allow too much forward movement because it constantly goes backwards and said, hey, history repeats itself. If it happened before, it'll happen again, yada, yada. It doesn't allow for forward movement because it believes it knows it all. And the only thing it can turn back on is past and residual energies. So if that is what you're still living in, you're not going to get very far. So spend some time figuring out where you are in this playground of things that you've got going on right now, okay? Figure out who you were in the situation. What led you to this? Why are you acting out in the ways you do? Why is your behaviors manifesting these types of things? Start with you. If you keep going, oh, well, I smoked because my dad gave me a cigarette. Your dad gave you the cigarette, but it was your choice to smoke it, unless perhaps maybe he did physically make you, because that I've heard of that happening. But it's your choice to continue it. All right. And sometimes we are so, emptied inside that we feel that this is what is necessary in order for us to feel anything or not feel anything. So you got to do the internalized work. We also call it shadow work. And shadow workings or dark night of the soul, call it what you will, is a very daunting and difficult time for anyone. It is when you face your own martyrisms and when you face the reality of your decisions and when you face everything. You literally are staring the devil that you've created in the eye and figuring out why it's present in your life. And it's not made for everybody, but it happens to everybody. It's whether or not you decide to work with it or run from it. All right, so that's what I've got for you there. Hey, Miss Jen, how are ya? Alrighty. Hopefully you guys can see these cards because I seriously hate that light, but I got what I got right now until I can like expand the reading space a little bit and get my better lighting so I don't have to deal with something that's overhead and beaming. But moving along to Taurus. Taurus, Taurus, Taurus. Hey, Taurus, you're never late, sweetheart. We were saving a spot for you. All right, Taurus, what have we got for you tonight, huh? All righty. What does Taurus need to know? What does Taurus need to reflect on? What does Taurus need to do for this week in November? Knight of Swords, so lack of forward movement. Six of Wands. We're going to stop there. We'll pull up the third card as a manifestor. Okay, so watching and waiting instead of going forward and actually progressing with this energy, because swords are mental energy. That's air. And right here, this is what I call the stalker card, because it's not going forward in the physical sense, but it still goes forward. It just watches. It looks at you. It's waiting for you to make the movement. It's waiting for you to do something. It's going to know your every move. That type of sit back and I'm going to keep my eye really, really close on you energy. I'm not going to make the move until I see you make the move. This is also somebody who could really want to see you fail. And this could be you to yourself. So with that Six of Wands in the reverse, it's like you're expecting failure no matter what you do. All right. This is a massacre of I can't get my head together to manifest something correctly. And I want to blame everybody for the manifestations of bad in my life. All right. And that's kind of what I'm seeing right here. This is definitely, sorry, these cards are going to be one of those. This is going to be one of those readings where it's really going to dig at all of your, it's going to dig at all your shit. All right. That's just kind of what these cards do. It's law of attraction. So sometimes we attract bad shit because we keep acting bad. Right. So right here, if you're going to sit and spy on other people, if you're going to watch through the looking glass, nothing can happen forward for you because you are at the stalemate. You are sitting there going, I'm going to wait and see. I'm going to wait and see. And what does the universe do? It sits there and goes, oh, well, I'm going to wait and see too. I'm going to wait and see. It's like you're playing a game of chess with the universe and you're like, all right, we're at a checkmate, or I'm trying to get to a checkmate because I want to see what you've got. Or you're in a game of poker with the universe and you're like, I'm not ready to fold, but I'm also not ready to up the ante. I'm not ready to do this. You know, you're waiting and seeing. The universe doesn't work like that. The wait and see game is always going to make you wait and see more. And you're going to sit there and be so hung up on the wait and see that you forget to move forward, or you're too scared to move forward. And that's what I'm seeing a lot with right here. So the King of Swords. Right now, you're blaming a lot of people. This is nasty energy when the King of Swords is in the reverse, because normally he's stoic and knows what he needs to say and he gets to the point. He's that dad energy of, I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. But when he's in the reverse, he's just going to spew some nasty shit as much as he possibly can until he gets the impact that he wants. And it could be hurt, and it could be movement, and it could be all this crap, right? So that's basically what you're manifesting, is a lot of negative repercussions that are just simply coming back to you. Now, when we talk about karma, we always assume that it's a cause and effect type situation, whereas the fact karma means action. It just is giving you back what you put out there. Now, that's why some of us sit there and be like, all right, this guy, you know, treated his wife like shit and cheated on her and blah, blah, blah. He's never going to have anything good in his life. But then from your perspective, you're watching him and like, the man's a millionaire. The man has women. When is karma going to hit him? Okay, when the fuck did money or women ever fill anybody's void? All right. If you need more money and you need more of the opposite sex and you need more of attention and you need this and that, you're filling voids. You're not happy, because happy people don't need. All right. They don't want. They're humble. All right. They always have goals and ambitions. But you know what? If they didn't have those, they'd still find a way to make their life make sense. And people that constantly have a want and a desire don't have happiness. They're trying to fill that void with other things, mostly tangible things. All right. So I get back into the whole karma of things with action. All right. So in this case, what you're basically doing is you're trying to go tit for tat with the universe. You're trying to make the universe move forward so that you can move forward. It does not work like that. You have to make first movement, either good or bad. So go forward. If you want good things, put positive out there. It's that simple. But our egos sometimes drown us out. Well, actually, often drown us out. So what you're going to want to do is sit there and say, not today, Satan. I'm not going to no longer act like, a perspective ass. I'm going to go forward with a humble heart, a more caring, giving heart, because that is how you're going to uplift your vibrations and cause the universe to want to give you more of what it is you seek. But you have to be humble. It's kind of like the Care Bear stare. Remember in the cartoon, the Care Bears, they put out that beam of happiness. I know this sounds kind of, weird, but it's true. They put out that beam of happiness and literally melted evil, right? Now, don't we give hugs when somebody's really upset or somebody's crying? We give hugs, we share that vibration, that physicality with them, trying to transmute love, wellness vibes, any of that, right? Same thing. All right. So think of it in that simplistic form is, if you give good, good does come back to you, but it comes back to you in the way that you're literally asking for it. Okay. That's more of a karmic thing than anything else. All right. So hopefully that makes sense. So for you, Taurus, what I'm going to say is you need to wipe your own slate clean. You need to stop with all this negative banter towards yourself, because if you're expecting good of, the universe in general, which can include people, anything, feelings, what have you, but you're unwilling to move forward and actually give that first and actually invite that energy, yeah, you're going to be sitting in this for quite some time. All right. As simple as I make it, people complicate it because we are giving something called free will, which came with something called ego. And ego kills a lot of good vibration. It kills a lot of manifestations because it doesn't want to believe things can change without reason. It doesn't want to believe things can change. Everything has a motive, and sometimes that is true. But if you're going to carry that in your heart 24/7, guess what you're going to live as? Somebody who's always waiting for that other shoe to fall, somebody who's always waiting for the negative to come knocking on the door. And are you truly living life like that? Probably not. Probably not. If bad's going to come, it's going to come whether you wait for it and prepared for it or not. And I promise you, even if you think you're prepared, it's going to throw a nice curveball at you. So live your life and be happy. Don't worry about other people's shit, including the universe's, and just live your life that makes sense to you. And watch how things change so much more dramatically. And if you're a person who's on the internet a whole bunch, content creator or otherwise, influencer, maybe just somebody who enjoys being online, don't put all your freaking dirty laundry out there. Actually, don't put anything out there. Put forward what you're able to feel good about, okay? And I promise you, even then, people are still going to talk shit. But if you're out there putting, because I tell you all the time that people, they call me a bragger, a know-it-all, all these things just for sharing knowledge and life experience and this and that. And to them, I say, go live some more life, because if I sound like a know-it-all to you, that's an inward manifestation of, or an outward manifestation of what? An inward inadequacy, okay? So if I sound like a know-it-all to you, you haven't lived enough life. But that's, I tell people all the time, if you're so worried about somebody else, you're not really worrying about yourself. And if you're not really worrying about yourself, you're not living your best life. If you're not okay with yourself, if you're not okay with what you're doing before worrying about other people, then you're probably caught up too much in the soapbox type stuff. Don't do that. Don't do that. So, next up is our wonderful Geminis. Our awesome, awesome Geminis. Hi, Marianne. What's coming through for Gemini this week in November? Second, or was it the second week in November? I think so. Got the Two of Discs right there. So making decisions, unable to make a decision. All right, and we've got the Emperor. And let's see. This card representing the Emperor. So let's see here. Unable to make a decision about, maybe you're having an issue with authoritarian roles, either having authority or having someone have authority over you. Maybe it's about making a decision that involves a lot of people and you don't quite know how to make that decision. Sitting here thinking about like having that non-confidence appeal to this is what's going to be the most detrimental to you. Anytime we have to make decisions about someone, something that involves someone or something, we need to do it with knowledge. We need to do it with association of confidence. You know, you need to be confident in your decision. So, this in the reverse to the Death card. Okay, in reverse. So you're not ready to make these decisions because, you know, you're worried about it ending a relationship, a family-based relationship, ending happiness. This could be about a relationship, but this can also be about family. This, you know, a romantic relationship, husband and wife ordeal. So what I'm seeing here is your inadequacies are not, you know, or non-confidence in making the decision. This could be somebody that doesn't know if they want to end the marriage. This could be somebody who doesn't know if they want to end, you know, the relationship or sever something that it's pretty, it deals with your emotional stability. You know, this is with the nine of discs in reverse, we saw at one point this being, you know, very close to our complete happiness, but at this point now we second guess it. So, and you're just worried about, you know, if this is worth ending, you know, can I recover from this? Things like that. And with the Strength card underneath in the reverse, I'm definitely seeing that, you know, you're feeling very weak at this time, and a weak heart cannot make a strong decision. It's just impossible. So you really need to kind of step out of the emotional realm of this and kind of figure out what is the more logical or reasonable sense. And sometimes definition of being reasonable is giving benefit of the doubt. And it sounds crazy sometimes, but literally being reasonable is giving the other opposing side of this the benefit of the doubt on something, or giving them their piece and perspective. And maybe you haven't done that. Maybe ego was really strong in whatever decision you were trying to make or should have made. And you really need to take a step back and look at things strategically versus emotionally. And that's the strongest reading I'm going to be able to give to you, or that I'm willing to give to you, that will not influence your own karmas in this. All right? Because I don't do that. So next up is Cancer. Cancer, Cancer, Cancer. A new trip? You don't need to go on no more damn trips. Oh, look, the deck exploded everywhere. All right. So, Cancer. Messages for our Cancerians. All right. So we got that Four of Cups there. The Two of Cups. So the yin and the yang, everything coming together. You're manifesting something really good for yourself. With the Four of Cups, we are literally at a point where we're like, you know, don't miss opportunities, okay? This one's telling you, don't miss this opportunity. This is a really good situation. It doesn't have to be a person. It could be literally, you know, anything that you feel that you have a nice bond with will go like that. Most of the time people are like, Two of Cups is your soulmate energy and twin flame, blah, blah. I don't believe in none of that shit, okay? And I'll tell you why. to say you're someone's soulmate is to really give some hardcore, like, codependent energy. You are whole on your own. You can have somebody that just really blends with you really well, but that whole soulmate almost gives ownership type title shit to it. And don't even bring that twin flame crap near me, because I don't buy any of that. There isn't always someone for everyone in this world, okay? I believe that. I believe that there are some people that are on this planet that will never really have a true soul bond with anybody. All right? Because for whatever reason, we have things like mental health and stuff like that that play instance to it. So they may never experience that. Now, if you want to get into the cosmic sense, oh, but, blah, blah, blah was made for blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. That may be, but will those two cross paths? Because what if that other person is really suffering internally and is not ready to promote themselves or allow someone into their life? So if that's the case, yeah, they're going to walk past each other. So I try not to get too metaphysical into the sense of like love and heart and emotions, because like I said, there isn't always somebody for everyone, and sometimes even if there is, one or both may not be ready for it. So I don't try to live in that fantastical world. All right, because it's not, I'm a tried and true Capricorn. I'm very grounded, because if I lived in that fantastical world all the time, I would be misleading of you, because our world doesn't loan to that. All right, so I try to get you to a point where you can understand yourself enough to where, number one, you don't need this stuff, but number two, that you are responsible for the vibrations that you put out and the ones that you receive. Hopefully that makes sense. So, but whatever you've been putting out, whatever you've been building up, you're ready to take that step and allow this bond in. All right. And with that Four of Wands, all right, you're very worried if this is going to be an eternal thing, a forever thing. Am I going to be content and happy? Don't worry about it, because it hasn't happened yet, because you haven't even allowed it in. So how are you worried about a relationship or something working if you've never even allowed it to become something? You don't know it in full, competencies. So don't even let your mind get this far. Because if you're thinking like this, you're already thinking in the negative, and therefore doing what? Allowing negative to come forward. So allow this to be what it is. Experience it. Drift with it. Don't think negative until you have a reason to think negative. All right, there, Cancer. You got something good coming forward for you. Don't screw it up. All right, just let it be what it is. Enjoy it for what it is. All right, next up is our Leos. Leo. Innocence is overrated. Yeah, it can be. PLE is about as innocent as a person on death row. And there have been some innocent ones. I'm just kidding. If I can't tease that masked guy, I can't live. I'm not living my best life. Where's my sister at? Leo's off doing something Leonific. All right, so for our wonderful Lions of the Zodiac, let's see what you got going on for this week. For Leo. Well then. You too have, okay, so you're making that forward movement. You're like, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get this no matter what. 10 of Cups in the reverse though. So you're trying to go after, you got that Devil right there. You're trying to not let the past influence you, and therefore you're like, I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna go for this. This looks good, this feels good, it's gotta be good, right? I'm not gonna be influenced by my past. That's why you got that Devil in reverse. But you got this 10 of Cups in the reverse. Don't try to make people fill your voids. You gotta do that shit on your own. All right, you're on the right path. Your focus changes when you think it's the person that's gonna be good for you. No, the energy, the vibration, the actions, the everything has to be good for you. It's not just a person. That's why not just a pretty face or a nice, a handsome face or money or all that. Those are components, but you have to have the complete package, all right? It has to make sense. So don't go after something for visual or monetary or emotional or any of those on any single level. You got to go after it because it is a drawing to you. It makes you manifest better. All right. You don't need to try to save anyone's day. If somebody needs you in their life to like save them, run away because or if you feel like you need saving, oh my God, if I had this person, I would feel so complete. Oh my God, if I had this person, like I'd have such a great life, blah, blah, blah. No, go have a great life and then meet the person. All right. Stop going after people to complete you. And you had it right until you were like focused on the person or the thing as being a completioning factor. Completioning, is that even a fucking word? Completing factor. But that's kind of what I'm seeing right here. So in order to have this be this, it has to start with you. Okay. You have to be a whole person on your own in order to experience a whole from another. That sounded a little dirty, but take it either way. All right. Where was I 25 years ago? Ooh. Where was I 25 years? How old am I? 38. So I was 13 and almost 14. And so that made me like a freshman in high school. Oh, trust me, you didn't want to know nothing about me, freshman in high school. I was a big old nerd. All I did was study. I was a cheerleader though, but I mean, I was boring. Ooh, I was boring. Okay. So, all right, but I lived a lot of life. All right, so we did Leos, and now we got to do the Virgos. Them picky, persnickety Virgos. Don't you just love a Virgo? I know I do. Where? There's my pineapple in a dumpster being fed cafeteria food. Who's being fed? Who's in a dumpster? I want to be in a dumpster sometimes. I'll be a dumpster fire. Anyway, you're a virgin? Why is he lying in my chat? Like, he hasn't been a virgin since he was 12. Like, oh, there's my ass. Like, y'all virgins and I'm Mother Teresa, okay? He might have had a few virgins. I love it when people I like show up in my chat though. They make it fun. I'm the literal and they're my comic relief. It's like the two, remember in the Muppets there's the two old men in the balcony like laughing all the time. That's PLE and Fluff most of the time. We don't ask questions. Yeah, we don't. We don't ask questions about Mr. PLE. I don't even ask questions about that fellow Dustin from the South Cax. I met him once, I'll tell you a story real quick. I met Dustin from the South Cax once. And did you know he's a lot taller than he looks? Like, I went up to that fool's elbow. And, he's a nice guy and all, but he's intimidating looking. And he told me a story one time about him and Matt from Second Star Survival, like, went and wrangled up a possum and they cooked it up and ate it on their own. Like, you don't want to mess with someone that can eat a critter. So just be wary of that South Cat guy because he knows people. Yeah, where is Shani? You just answer questions? Oh, okay. Virgos, or the virgins, or whatever you want to call them. Messages for Virgo. What has Virgo got? The 9 of Wands in the reverse. All right, we'll let that 10. We'll stop here. We'll let the third be a clarifier. So 9 of Wands in the reverse. 9 of Wands meaning move you've stalled off enough movement under the false pretenses that I was happy. It was good enough. I was doing all right. All right. So that's kind of what you were putting out there, was these false pretenses. You weren't ready to make too much more movement. Number one, you were worried, am I going to risk things? Am I going to risk, just in general, am I going to risk stuff? You weren't really ready to take risks because you had too much at stake, maybe. And that's fine. And, some of us, can understand that. We can understand, hey, you don't want to take too much risk because you got too much at stake. But sometimes you've missed your boat. You've missed your chance because you didn't take risks because you were too damn worried. Oh no, well, how am I going to do it like this? How's this going to happen? How blah, 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 blah. All right. So right here with I believe that's the Hermit. Yeah, with the Hermit in reverse, you kind of stood back and you watched everything bypass you. And with that happening, you kind of just really let it be. You didn't continue your path of making the amazingness that you're able to make happen. And with that Eight of Pentacles, I'm going to assume it might have been something with business, with work, with money. So consider that, Virgo. If you keep waiting because it's comfortable, because it's easy, then you're never going to grow. And because you're not growing, you're going to have those feelings of inadequacy, and Virgos don't really thrive in those very well. And if you have feelings of inadequacy, guess what's going to transmit from there? More of the world saying you're inadequate, and you're just going to keep feeding that back and forth. So consider that in what you do, Virgo. All righty. Moving along to the Libras. I'm going to leave that chat alone. They look like they're having a little bit of fun over there. You know what that kind of sounds like? Like when PLE has Taco Bell. Watch. Hear me out. Doesn't that sound like PLE after Taco Bell? Channy would know. Huh? Sounds like you should show a hole. It does sound like you. That's why you're brothers. That's more of like you. That's Fluff after eating a power bar. He's over there like, Lord, move! Of course there is. All right. Libras. Let's go, Libra. What do we need to know this week, Libra? How's it going to go? How's it going to flow? Nine of Cups in the reverse. Codependent energy. What are we all relying on too damn much? Libras don't really rely on shit. Two of Swords. All right. So we're going to stop right there. Codependent, Two of Swords. Okay, so we don't know. Our mind might be at a conflict with ourselves. All right, so I think I got what's going on here. You're feeling discontent. You're relying on things to fill voids. It happens, Libra. I've caught you a few times. You may also be guilty of that whole, I do things in order to fulfill me, whatever the case may be, because I forget how to feel sometimes. And you might be at an inner conflict with that, where you know better, but you're like, hey, in order to put on the happy face that everybody thinks they want to see, I got to do these things. I got to do these things to fill my voids. And what I see from that is, and what I even am feeling right at this second, is somebody who's like, if you only knew how bad it was to be me, you wouldn't want it. Because you're Libra, you can be flashy. You can be like a Leo sometimes. You can be very flashy. And I guarantee this particular Libras that are radiating with this probably have some Libra in there. Libras that are radiating with this, or resonating, hello. Somebody needs to check their radiator or something like that, because I keep saying radiate. Or they be shiny. I don't know. But to the Libra, this is resonating with you. Probably have some Leo in your chart. But what I'm definitely feeling is like there are moments where you're like, I can get through this. I'm fine. My needs are met. I can do this and da da da. But then there's this little, the inner bitch comes out and says, oh, but you fucking can't. Right? And that's what I'm getting. And that's probably why we fall into these codependent episodes, is what I'm totally feeling from this. Let's figure out why. Let's figure out what else. Let's figure out what we need to know. 3. Okay, so forward move. You're always trying to move forward. And like, okay, there's 2 reasons. Maybe you don't want to be stuck in this shitty energy, and I don't blame you at all for that. But it's because you are definitely a person that is picking up, or always got your eye on the future. Okay, maybe it'll get better later. Maybe if I just get this far, if I get through the next 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 2 weeks, 2 years, it'll be okay. As long I'll fake it till I make it, that energy. That's somebody living in this right now. That this is your reality right now. Realize it or don't realize it, up to you. But that's kind of what I'm seeing with this, is that, there is some energy that, you just really want to not feel this way. But we have to deal with shit that makes us feel that way. Break it down. All right? You got to break it down into its components, into its joints, break it apart. Figure out where the canker is, all right, if you will. Figure out where this fucking sore is at so you can heal that shit, and then you no longer have to worry about feeling these codependent vibes. You're going to end up being more like this, able to make stronger decisions that promote your future in that light that you really are searching for. This is some deep dive energy right here. All right, this is probably some shit you ain't gonna want nobody to know. All right, because you've been hiding it. All right, you've been, you're putting on the smile. You do the things. You're like, I'll tell certain people because certain people know me well enough that I kind of have to hint to them what's going on. But at the same time, you're like, if people, like I said earlier, people knew how, what are you hitting my chair for? Fool? That's not what I meant. Fluff kicking the chair. But this is one of those, if people knew how bad it was, they wouldn't think it was so amazing. Like, they wouldn't think the presentation of me was so amazing, or that it was so effortless or so easy. So you hide a lot to be strong, to show strength, to be what other people expect of you. Guess what, Libra? You're human. Nobody's expecting you to be a superhero all the time. Maybe some people are. Reevaluate yourself around those fools, because them is nothing but draining vampire shit. Get them the hell out of here. Stake that through the heart. If somebody expects you to be amazing 24/7 and never be a freaking human being that cries, that sits in their bedroom, eating ice cream at 2 a.m., watching TV and not feeling good, a person that will put on a pair of sweats and order a pizza and say, fuck it. If they think that you're not that, they're not your real people, okay? Like, get rid of them. Stop trying to impress people that don't matter. Somebody like that doesn't matter in your life, because you don't matter in theirs. That's why. Stay strong, my Libras. No, we're not at Scorpio yet, but we'll get there. It's coming up. Alrighty. Scorpio, Scorpio, Scorpio. Welcome to Scorpio season. I'm your host, Tarot and T. Scorpios. I love me some Scorpio ladies, Scorpio men. Why? Why you always gotta be so nasty all the time? I'm just kidding. Alright. Scorpio. It's your time of the year, Scorpio. Are you evolving or are you stalling? Let's find out. Scorpios can stall their success real easy, but they can evolve really well, too. All right, you guys ready to see? Y'all ready to see? Scorpio, what you got going on? Oh, we have the Ace of Wands in the reverse. We have the Knight of Pentacles. All right. So when something says it doesn't want to happen, you're like, I'll make it happen. That's what I'm seeing here with the Nine of Wands in the reverse. Kicker. You are trying so hard, and you are trying to continue forward so much that you're like, I keep hitting a fucking wall every time. And that's what I'm seeing right here is you're like, I was supposed to have a great opportunity. This was supposed to happen really awesomely. This was supposed to be great. And I kept going forward. I kept going forward like everybody said. And guess what? It kept getting bad. All right. And that's what I'm seeing for Scorpio right here. And I laugh because guess what? Not all that glitters is always gold. And not everything is bad. But it feels that way. That's the thing is it's, you know, dare I say, it's not happening to you, it happens for you. You need to look outside of the box a little bit because guess what? You've put so much energy into these tangible things, into these circumstances and situations that you are forgetting about other things around you. Look outside of the box once in a while, Scorpio. I know it takes some effort because you got that devil energy right there. It can also be dealing with a little bit of Capricorn in your life, but that double energy means I have to get it done. It has to be this way. It has to. It controls of you. Sufficiency, adequacy, and everything else relies on this. My bane of my existence, but I must complete it because it determines who I am, and that is bullshit. All right? It is superiorly bullshit. So Scorpio, just remember that no matter what it is you're working so hard to, that may not have been the treasure in the situation. The treasure may have been found in the efforts in the situations, because guess what? You might be able to apply that towards something in the future or utilize it to help somebody else. Therefore, they may be helping you back and you may be able to solve your own mysteries and puzzles because answers are always out there. If you're so landlocked and mind locked into just you, you're not expanding yourself for other opportunities, for other things, for other people, for other information that you could use. So don't think you're always right, which Scorpios tend to do, or think you know it all, or that simply that you have to do it this way. It has to be done. It has to. No, okay? Just make sure it's called tacos. Just make sure it's called tacos. Okay. I like tacos. So, I mean, like the food, you know, but still tacos. Hey, you owe me tacos, please. I bought you tacos. Is there something outside the box? Outside of Plevis's box. Because his box is full. So there is probably something outside of it is spilled over. And if people are like, what is she talking about? It's in the chat. Just it's in the chat. But that's what I'm seeing for you, Scorpio, is staying so hyper fixated on completing something that you're forgetting the lessons, that you're forgetting how this is expanding you. All right. So that's kind of what I'm seeing right here is, you know, don't hyper fixate so much that you forget that everything happens for you. It is growing you. It is stretching you. But when we stay so like nitpicked and locked on something, we don't grow, we don't stretch because we miss it. We miss the externals. All right? Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. I promise you. If you do that to yourself, you're going to miss so much of the experience, so much of what you need, the information, all of that. All right? Just unhinge and be like, you know what? I'm gonna do me for 10 minutes. I'm gonna go have a beer. I'm gonna go like take a break. I'm gonna take, give me 24 hours, whatever, then come back to this and see if you're looking at it through the same perspective. And if you are, continue. But if you keep hitting those same roadblocks, it is because you did not allow something to come in that needed to come in, that needed to be a part of this lesson, that needed to be a part of this situation. All right. Ask other people. All right. Just open your mouth. Like, people are around you that love you and will be there for you. Just sit there and be like, hey, my imperfect ass doesn't know what to do. And I keep trying the same thing and I'm hitting this damn wall and I don't know why. And your friends are going to be like, hey, stupid, turn around and walk the other way. You know, it's going to be, I mean, they probably not call you stupid. They might, because I call my friends stupid sometimes because we cool like that. But they might say, hey, try this. And you're like, damn, I didn't even think of that. Oh, I wonder why. I hope you didn't think of it and then didn't try it. I mean, come on now. You're living in some parallel universe, but that, you get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying, Scorpio? I hope you do. And I know you do. You may not like hearing it, but you know what I'm talking about. All right. Moving along to the Sagittarians of the world. What have I got for you, Saggy? What does the cards got for you? What are the lessons this week? What are the lessons this week for our Saggies? I do call you stupid because you act stupid sometimes. I also call Fluff stupid because he king of them sometimes. Then I told him, because you stupid, you being stupid. And he'll be like, I know. Hell, even I'm stupid sometimes. I don't have all my shit together, and why would I want to? Then I'm not having enough fun in this world. All right. Saggy. Get back in there. All right. Come on. Saggy. Ooh. We got the Lover's card, huh? Or is that the Sun card? No, that's the Sun card. All right, and the Strength. Hello, who the hell said Saggy was gonna have such a good time? All right, so your new beginnings, new strength. You're really enriched right now. Like, hold up, wait a minute. Let me put some Saggy in it. All right, getting your shit together. You know what? And it has to do with how much work and effort you're putting. This could literally have to deal with work. Whether you're getting a new job, you're putting in this new happiness, you're really combining yourself with something that is very enriching. And guess what? It's manifesting in great. I don't have another thing to really say about this. I mean, you got the Tower. Yeah, you got the Tower card on the bottom of the deck. So you're rebuilding yourself from something that happened before. And you know what? You've rebuilt yourself in a good way. Continue doing it. Continue onward. I ain't going to tear that one up at all. You got some good shit happening. Let's let it happen. Because you're putting good out there. Mentally, emotionally, physically, you're speaking it into existence. You're acting it into existence. You could be a man at a car wash saying, "I'm gonna be a millionaire." Right now I'm out here washing cars, but I'm a millionaire. I got the millionaire mindset. It's happening. And guess what? 2 years from now, you might see homie owns the car wash. It's known to happen because that's the mindset. They live it. They become it. So hey, never doubt a person because they're going to prove something to you. Capricorn, what have you got going on? Capricorn. Cappy. What have our Capricorns got going on for this week in November? I shun to think because me being a Capricorn, I need some good vibes though. I do. I need to put some good vibes out there though. Oh, Queen of Cups in reverse. So you're not feeling so good about things right now. All right. What's going on, Cappy? 7 of Cups. So you know what? You're seeing things as being emotionally turmoiling, that you're having inadequacies right now, that you're not enough. You've got the baby in the womb right now. Maybe you're feeling like, I'm not enough as a mom. I'm not enough as a woman. I'm not enough as a person. If you're male, this could be also your feminine component being that, hey, maybe I'm not enough of a dad. Maybe I'm not nurturing enough. Maybe I'm not growing things, the way they need to grow. I'm not giving it what it needs, in other words. And you're seeing this turmoil. You're like, you're scared. There's some fearful energy here because you're like, how am I going to keep everything afloat? How am I going to keep things going? That's why you see that crystal ball right there with the tidal wave in it. You're just like, emotionally, you're like, I see this as a possibility, and how do I change it? What do I do? Let's see what we got here for you. All right, so basically what I'm seeing right here is you need to replenish yourself. Just because bad shit has happened, just because something made you feel the way it did, does not mean that it is you. That does not mean that is the reality of something. Figure out what replenishes you. If you need to go to the beach, if you need to take, time out for you and rejuvenate, touch earth, go to the beach, look at water, watch a sunset. Right here, it's a lot of water. Clarity, replenishing. If your soul is thirsty for something, give it that. Go do the things that make you happy, because guess what? If we're looking for happiness in something, in someone, in some situation. It's not going to happen that way, guys. It literally has to come from you. You cannot give what you don't have. You cannot receive if you're not open to receiving it because you feel that it's not coming or it's not, you don't deserve or yada yada. So that's what I'm seeing for you, Capricorn. And let me get two cards of advice moving forward in this. You've got the Eight of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles. Go forward because good things are coming. Just move forward from this. Move forward from the inadequacies. Move forward for what trailed you backwards. And just go forward. Look at, you got that dice roll right there coming down from heaven. And you know what? Busting your ass, working hard. Guess what? It is going to pay off. All right? Don't let something trip you up, Capricorn. You never do. All right. So Aquarius. Messages for our wonderful Aquarian gang. What have we got here for you? Let's see. Messages for Aquarius. All right, just a little full card right there. Come what may. I'm just gonna take this as it comes. That's a beautiful energy. You don't really get it from Aquarius too often. All righty. And let me tell you why you don't get it from Aquarius too often is because right now they're kind of hyper focused. And usually Aquariuses are hyper focused on like everything that goes, like they're always in their head. They don't really put pen to paper. And that's kind of what's going on right here is you're like, you know what? I'm just going to let things write themselves. I'm going to let them be what they are. And you've got the Five of Swords right there as your kicker. And instead of, if you see how right here, it's like something plummeting down, like stock market plummeting down. Right now, it's not that things aren't bad. It's just you're kind of carrying yourself in the, I'm going to make the best of what I have. I'm going to make the best of what my disaster, in other words. If something bad is happening, that's fine. I'm still going to make the best of what I got. And if that is not what you're feeling, that is the mindset that you need to get into. And that is what I'm seeing for you, Aquarius. And I'm going to let that lesson and those messages be what they are. All right. So moving along to our last sign of the zodiac, our little glorious fishies, the Pisces gang. Piscean energy. What have we got for our fishies of the zodiac? What's going down in Pisces town? All right, let's see. Pisces for this week in November. All righty. We got some of that, you feel like you're walking, you're very focused, and you feel like you're walking a thin line. Imagine that. All right, but you got the king of rods energy. You got that king of, I'm just gonna say it as rods. That's how they categorize it here. But the king of rods energy is very like, I'm good. I know I'm gonna make this look good. I might be walking on a thin line right now. I might be like questioning whether or not I got my shit, but I'm gonna make it look good. And that's what Pisces is doing right now. All right, so you're sitting there, you're very stoic, you're very like, I'm good, I'm calm, I'm chill, I'm here for the thrill. And I like that vibe for you, Pisces, because usually you're very emotional about everything. You're not very chill, you're not very confident. All right, and that's what I'm gaining right here is like, you're like, no matter the circumstance, I'm very confident in my abilities now. And finally, you are. And with that 10 of rods, you know what? It's completion. It's success. It's, celebratory. It's the end of the voyage. And that's what I'm seeing right here for you. And this is good manifestational energy is where you're like maintaining the confidence in those harsh situations. And it's going to be bringing forward that confidence back to you. It's going to be bringing you back more confident situations. It's going to be bringing you back more empowerment. So keep doing what you're doing right now, Pisces, because you're doing it well. Alrighty, and that is all 12 signs of the zodiac, you guys. And I want to thank you so very much for joining with me this evening and listening to me banter and rave and dissect situations that might have something to do with you, or maybe they don't. And if they do, hopefully it gave you some advice moving forward. And if nothing made sense whatsoever tonight, check back at another reading. Maybe those are, maybe one from another night will resonate with you better. And as always, thank you so much to my moderators for holding it down and keeping the chat, popping and moving forward. I love you guys so very much. I couldn't do what I do without you guys' assistance along with me. And to everybody else watching that doesn't appear in the chat, because I know some people do, because not everybody has channels, so they don't chat in chats and they still watch. I love you guys and thank you so very much for your ability to come and believe in me and believe in my word and my abilities, and hopefully it enriches you somehow, or hey, maybe it just gives you a really good laugh. Either way, I will see you all next Sunday. And who knows, I might do some on the fly readings for you this week. It all depends on what the schedule looks like, but hopefully we'll do something fun. And I hope everybody's gearing up for a really awesome Thanksgiving. And if you don't have a family to spend Thanksgiving with, that's fine. Come spend it with mine. If you guys want, we'll do a virtual Thanksgiving and we'll all be on StreamYard together. Okay, if that works, cool. We should all do that, because nobody should feel alone on Thanksgiving or any holiday. You're family to me, and you're more than welcome in my home, which I don't allow too many people in, but y'all can come over and taste burnt turkey or whatever it is I'm planning to make. But with that being said, you guys stay cool, stay confident, stay awesome, stay focused, and stay confident, because that is how you're going to get through anything. Believing in yourself, even if nobody else believes in you. Die on the hill that you create, because that is the one that matters the most. And I shall see you all sometime between now and forever. Stay blessed.